لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm so happy we have with us Sheikh Dr. Bilal Philip. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How you doing, Sheikh?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
You coping well, yeah?
Inshallah, with the last pleasure.
MashaAllah. So Sheikh, I've been willing to ask you this question. A lot of things have been happening to the Muslims across the globe. I want to know your views on them. For instance, the Muslims in Myanmar, what are your views on them? What is happening? What do you think, how can we help?
Well, the situation in Myanmar is obviously a catastrophe. Muslims are suffering, as perhaps most Muslims around the world, do experience difficulties, problems, etc. But the suffering there is particularly terrible. Of course, Syria is similar situations happening, but open war situation. But Myanmar is, as they're saying, the UN is saying, it is ethnic cleansing. It's basically just removing that Muslim element, that group, from the country, from Burma altogether. And the process is one in which violence is unleashed against them. Women are raped, homes are burnt, cities, towns burnt down, all of their businesses, etc. You see the pictures are very, very saddening, tear-jerking pictures that we see on the news, whether it's Al Jazeera, CNN, or BBC, whatever. It's very, very unfortunate. And people's concern, what do we do? For a number of young people, it's like, okay, we need to take up arms. We need to go there and start fighting. But I encourage people, no, this is not the route. Because you take up arms against the Burmese military. You're untrained, you don't have equipment, you can't defeat them. So for you to come in with that, what you're doing, you give them an excuse, because this is what they're claiming, that the burning of the villages and all this was because, this wing has, this Islamic wing from the Rohingyas, are engaged in fighting the military. So we don't need to give them excuses. What we need to do is to try to find solutions through peaceful means, and education, to try to alleviate the suffering of the peoples. This is the bottom line, because all those kinds of efforts, whether it's in Kashmir and other places where youths have gone out and tried to take weapons and start to fight, they just created a bigger mess. In the end, it becomes a chaos. So my advice is that we try to help them in terms of resettling them. Okay, alhamdulillah, Bangladesh has agreed to give them an island.
Inshallah.
Then we need to try to give the support that they can rebuild their lives, etc. And then the powers that be, they're the ones who have to make this change. Because that kind of change, what's going to cause, the Myanmar government to accept these citizens back into their country, because they're citizens of Burma. Of course we say it's, they should not be pushed out, but they have been pushed out. What do? We have to deal with that circumstance. So, but it's through the UN, through Muslim countries coming together that something can be done. Because realistically speaking, if we have the situation in Palestine, that's been going on for how long? Palestine has the third of the most holy places, three most holy places in Islam, right? Holy masjids, and we're not able to liberate it. How many billions of Muslims are unable to liberate and resolve the problems of Palestine, make it accessible to Muslims world over, Masjid al-Aqsa, as Mecca and Medina are accessible. If we can't do it there, then realistically speaking, we can't do it in Myanmar. We can't do it anywhere else. You know? So there has to be an effort on one hand for Muslims to come together, to make a difference in all of these kinds of situations. And for those who are not part of that process, you are not in the political positions of power in which you can change these things, then we have to give support to help those people who are suffering. You know, we have to do it in an organized way through reliable, you know, charitable organizations and relief and refugee programs, etc., to try to alleviate their suffering as best we can. You know, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive the weaknesses and the deficiencies of Muslims globally. For not being able to come to the aid of our brothers and sisters from the Rohingyas, you know, who deserve our effort, who deserve our support, and deserve our help, but they're not getting it. We ask Allah to forgive our weaknesses and to bless those amongst us that have risen up to try to do something, and to also give peace and comfort to our Muslim brothers and sisters of the Rohingyas, you know, in this time of trial, this hour of difficulty, because there is no difficulty which can be alleviated except that which has been alleviated by Allah. So we ask Allah
so let's keep making
to be
dua
merciful.
for them.
Yes.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. It's beautiful having you here and your thoughts. Jazakallah khair. So there we'll come to the end of the interview. We leave you all in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.